Good morning, true crime friends. Listen, the Melly case winds on. Honest to goodness, I find this case a little bit more tedious every day. Look, I can sum up the entire day's testimony in about 3 minutes, maybe less. What they did in 8 hours, I could tell you about in 3 minutes. Let me break it down for you quickly because we have other business to deal with this morning. Number one, the prosecution continues to prove that that's Melly's phone. The defense keeps saying, that's not his phone. You don't know his phone. I don't think that's his phone. You don't have the proof. Then they play jail tapes. Melly, sir, you know when you go on the phone when you're in jail and they say this call could be recorded? Bro, you should also know that this call can and will be used against you in the court of law. So it's like Melly's talking to his mom and it's like, oh, what's the passcode for your phone? He gives the passcode for the phone. Okay, cool. And then they have all these text messages and Instagram messages were like, Melly, what's your phone number? He gives that phone number over and over and over and over again. Oh, I could not be more bored. And then that coupled with 5 billion sidebars and objections. And I'm like, this case is never going to be over, but the prosecution seems to be wrapping up. The lead detective is on the stand. Now listen, one thing that came out in court today that really hurt my feelings, excuse me, I'm not even Melly's mama. And it's clear that these boys were fighting back and forth about power, money, and recognition. That's the bottom line of all of it. Like, do we know what specific portion of the power, money, and recognition they were fighting about on that day? No, we do not. But for months, they have been back and forth about who was in charge and who blah, 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 whatever. This phone is crooked. It's driving me crazy. Okay. They have been like bickering back and forth about power, money, and recognition. Fine. And then Melly's crazy behind mama kept jumping into it. And Melly straight up was like, I don't care about her. She's not my mother. I care about y'all more than I care about my mother. Ouch. That's still your mama. Like, these are not the things you put in writing, bro. These are the things that you like text to or that you say to your friends. Listen, if you have a corporate life, or if you live in like in a world where you have a job at all, you don't put the incriminating stuff in writing. You have to say that and just pray to God nobody's recording you behind because So anyway, so that's memorialized forever for the whole world to know. He said, F his mother, she's crazy. Okay, terrific. But then out here in real life, now this is the part that I really care about. In real life, on Facebook, apparently over the last day or two, one of the decedent's sisters, I think it was Juvie's sister, threatened Melly's mom on Facebook. Ma'am, how are you threatening people on Facebook? Listen, haven't you seen these like Karen goes wild and gets fired from her job, blah, blah, blah. Only in this particular case, this one lady threatened another lady on Facebook and now the court is involved and now we all know about why do I know this information? Listen, I'm glad I know because that's the part I want to know. Is it his Facebook? Was there geofencing? Child, I do not care. What I want to know is all the behind the scenes stuff. I want to know what's happening in their personal life. I want to know who Melly mom is dating. These are the things that are important to me. Are they important in this case? No, not at all. This case is just the background. It's the canvas upon which our gossip can grow and flourish. So if you're looking for like all the tiny little details, you're going to need to talk to my good girlfriend, Brandy Churchwell. Child, she got charts. She got pictures. She got graphics. You know what I got? A food-related t-shirt and a big mouth. That is everything. That's my entire shtick over here. I got the good gossip. Now, here's the gossip that you probably have not heard. Mariah, right? Mariah was Melly's girlfriend at the time that all of this went down. And as soon as it happened, Melly was on the phone like, babe, can you pick me up? Because I was just in a drive-by, AKA, I just shot some dudes, but I just pretended there was a drive-by and I'm gonna need you to come and get me. And she was like, ah. First of all, she's 17 and she had been living with him. Mom, Dad, what 17-year-old what parents are letting a 17-year-old live with a 19-year-old boyfriend? Let me tell you something, not me and not at this house, but I don't have no daughter, so it's easy for me to talk. I got a bunch of sons, and it's a whole different thing when you have sons. Now, should like these rules apply equally? Of course they should, but you know what's never gonna happen? My son never gonna get pregnant. He might bring a baby up in here, but ultimately I'm gonna be like, where this baby's mama? That baby need to go with their mama, because So anyway, but Mariah, that's the girlfriend, her whole family sort of got caught all up in this because Melly picked up the phone on FaceTime, face covered in blood, hiding in a bush immediately after the killings, calling his girlfriend. So now his girlfriend is dragged into this whole thing. So the mom, Melly's girlfriend mom, Felicia Holmes, oh, she was all up on the stand, dressed all in white, showing for a fact that she had been bought off. Because Miss Holmes, we saw your text messages where you were like, keep acting crazy with me, and I'm going to tell the police. Send. I was like, oh, please say more. So she had all these text messages and she sent the text to the police. And now she's like, oh no, everything is lovely. We're all good friends. Everything is fine. Don't you worry about me at all. Okay. Oh, well, now Mariah's father has entered the chat. And when I say entered the chat, he has stepped up, logged on, opened his big mouth, and I am here for every minute of what he has to say. Because he's like, I'm no part of this trial. All I know is what I was told happened to my daughter. So I'm giving you like fourth hand hearsay, but that is what we are here for, the fourth hand hearsay. Now, according to Mr. Mariah, I never got his full name, but that's okay. It is unnecessary. When all of this went down, he was in federal prison. He was like, yeah, the feds got me. I was like, oh, boo, what the feds get you for? He said the feds got him off of something he said on the phone. Y'all gonna learn. At some point, y'all gonna learn. Keep talking. Keep running your mouth. Keep talking on your cell phone thinking it's private. Especially if you have a phone that is like associated with your email account, your anything else. If they get wind of that phone at all, they could be like, oh, well, let's track him. Back in the day, they used to say like, oh, you know, the government is going to chip you and they're going to track you around and they're going to put the chip in a shot and then they're going to be able to track you. No. Relax, conspiracy theorists. The government is so much smarter than that. You know what they did? They got you addicted to your cell phone, and now you track yourself. They don't even have to track you. They'll have to round you up. In fact, you out here every 2 years upgrading your personal tracking device. Hello, federal government. You're not tracking me fast enough. I need to get some more data so that you can track me faster, please, and thank you. This is where I was, and this is what I ate, and this is who I was with. Child, please. So this man was sentenced or took a plea to go to jail for 5 years. This is Mariah's daddy I'm talking about. Went to jail for 5 years to the feds. Are the federal prisons really nicer? I have questions. But instead, he only did 3 years. Well, good for him. In the meantime, he was hearing what was happening with his wife and daughter. Now, the wife, Miss Felicia Holmes, was like, oh, no, what you're not going to do is go to jail and think me and you going to stay married. So she kicked his behind out, but they were living in the same house. But because Miss Holmes called the cops and was like, here are all the messages that we're getting, and you got to help us because I don't know what's going on. And then she withdrew her cooperation. Well, the cops was like, oh, no, you're not. You gave all these incriminating statements. What you're not going to do is walk away from these statements you made. So every day they were at her house, they were knocking, they were calling, and it was all on the Ring doorbell, according to Mr. Felicia Holmes. I was like, oh, boo-boo, say more. Say more. Tell it all, because all of it is what I want to know. According to Mariah's dad, she's never taken the stand because he said, quote, we don't live like that. Oh, okay. So y'all super hood and you don't snitch. Got it. They had to leave their home because the neighbors called the landlord like, why the cops at their house all the time? And so the landlord was like, listen, I'm going to need you to excuse yourself from this premises because you were bothering the neighbors and driving down the property values. And let me tell you something, as a homeowner to other homeowners out there, the last thing you want is anything that's going to affect your property values. I'm sorry, y'all, in a situation, but if my property value goes down by 1 nickel, boo-boo, you have to leave. I'm sorry. It was so nice having you as my neighbor. Listen, good luck at your new place. What you're not going to be is on my block. I'm just letting you know. This is how homeowners think. Now, maybe some renters think that too. But if you have possession of a property, whether you've rented a long time, you've lived there a long time, you don't want nothing messing it up. The neighbor who paints their house a crazy color, you're like, nope, gotta go. Don't cut their grass. Hello, let me call this HOA. And listen, Where I live, you can just call the police. Oh, somebody done cut their grass? Yeah, And the people come out, the department of whoever's in charge of grass comes out with a yardstick, and they stick a yardstick in your tall grass, and if it's more than a certain inches, that's a ticket. Now, how many tickets you gonna stack up for you get the lawn service out here, buy yourself a lawnmower? Child, nobody over here has lawnmowers. Everybody got the lawn service because it's not that expensive and saves you all the mosquito bites, but I digress. All of that to say, this situation with the daughter and the whatever, they basically hiding out Mariah. And the government is like, y'all are harboring a fugitive. And Mariah's family's like, and we gonna keep harboring her. Oh, okay. And then the other word on the street is that Track, 100K Track, is undercover police. Question mark? I'm not making accusations. I'm just telling you what I heard. Again, third-hand hearsay. But I'm like, oh, so really tell us more. Apparently, there was some situation that went down at a Melly show or a Melly show adjacent where some gunshots were fired. Yeah, shocking. And Mr. Francois got shot. And over the police radio, you could hear them say, oh, Officer Francois was shot. And at that situation, the only person that was shot, whose name was Francois, that we know about, was Jameson Francois. So is 100K Track really the po-po? Question mark. I'm asking. I'm not accusing. I'm asking the question. In a way, that might explain some of his behavior. So stay with me. Did you see Donny Brosco? That movie, Donny Brosco, where he was undercover and he was so deep undercover. He was this close to being a made man. And then finally they pulled him out. He had to change his whole life and do the whole thing. And I'm like, if Mr. Francois, 100K Track, Officer Francois, is police or a police informant, that kind of would explain a lot. They not putting him on the stand. Now listen, there are a zillion other reasons why he might not go on the stand. Or maybe they haven't put him on the stand yet. He has been excluded from the trial, meaning he can't watch it, he can't sit in the gallery, he can't comment on it, whatever, because he may be called as a witness. But might they not call him? Maybe they don't need his testimony. Maybe they feel like he's gonna lie. I don't know. There was word that he was on the verge of being deported, and then he turned in the phone, and then all of a sudden, he was no longer being deported. According to him, the two things are not related. But I'm like, but what about the Officer Francois rumors? Okay. Obviously, he's not the only person with the last name Francois, but Francois is not like Smith. If they said Officer Jones was shot, you'd be like, okay, it's a million of those. Officer Smith was shot, or even Officer Washington was shot. Okay, fine. Zillions of those. Is Francois like the Smith of Jamaica or Haiti or wherever he's from? Questions. All I'm doing is asking questions. The trial will continue. And it's abundantly clear that the phone they say is not Melly's. It's very much Melly's. But the prosecution is about to wrap up. The defense hasn't put on their case yet. Maybe the defense will come forward and be like, here is a whole bunch of evidence that shows it was not Melly. But I suspect, based on the comments of one Raven Liberty, they expect to lose this case. Now, they might not. These are very high-powered lawyers. They are making a lot of money. Who's paying them? Where's all this money coming from? All these zillions of hits that Melly is getting from having his stuff on YouTube and being monetized. He's almost at 1 billion hits. What is the payout rate of that? Listen, all that music, he's blown up. I never heard of this man until this case started, right? So now the whole world, the whole true crime world at least, is paying attention and following him, which means more and more hits for his YouTube. What does that mean in terms of cash money? When that check comes in on the 21st of the month, in case you don't know, YouTube pays on 21st of the month. When that check comes in on the 21st, I would love to get just one eyeball on, what does that mean exactly? What do those numbers look like? Can we see his little statement? I would love to see his AdSense statement. Just because I'm nosy, I don't need to know. I don't have a good reason to know. I just want to know. Finally, on the topic of YouTube, I'm looking at my analytics yesterday, and 75% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button so when I come on here ranting and raving, or we talking about Snapped or whatever, me and you can talk about it together. Okay. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for Snapped today. Oh, there's a couple of cases that you guys mentioned in the comments that I need to follow up on. So I'm going to go follow up. In the meantime, you have a great day. And me and you, we're going to be back together just like this tomorrow morning. Just like this, me and you. Cup of coffee. Everything's going to be good. Until then, have a great day. Bye.